Welcome back to the show. We continue our conversations with many of the new councillors. We're speaking to 5 of the new councillors that are going to be sworn in tomorrow at 10:30 right here on Rogers TV. You can catch it. We'll be airing that, broadcasting that live right here on Rogers TV, as I said, beginning at 10:30. And joining me from Knoxdale-Merivale is Sean Devine. Sean, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for doing this.
Hey, Derek.
How are you? So, Sean, I mean, this is a great opportunity for people that haven't met you yet. Tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, Sean.
So like my colleague that just spoke before, Lane, I'm a busy parent as well. A lot of councillors around the table this year have young kids. So I'm a father of 4. My wife, who is a teacher, she and I, we have 4 kids. We live in Darlington. I definitely do bring a different background to the council table than a lot of my colleagues. I've been a community association president for many years in Darlington, and that's been certainly relevant to my experience. But I guess the unique aspect is I'm a lifelong theater artist. My background for the past 3 decades, I've been a playwright and an arts producer. I've run for office before. This is my 3rd time seeking political office. I ran federally twice. Okay. I'm much happier in this municipal realm. But yeah, I'm coming to council from a different background than most as a theater artist.
Well, and you were on daytime. I remember.
Yeah, I know. The last time we spoke was about one of my plays.
That's right. That's right. Sean, you've all been going through orientation so far. What's that experience been like for you?
It's been great. I mean, I hear myself thinking and saying this all the time. It's exciting. It's humbling, but it's also overwhelming and intimidating. And for any councillor not to say that they're not nervous about starting tomorrow. I can't imagine they're being very honest. Like the scope of responsibility, like even though this is something that I've been gearing for a long time, as I'm sure my colleagues have, the scope of responsibility of what we're about to embark on is huge. And so to not be nervous would not be human about this. So I'm happy and I'm excited, but of course I'm a little jittery about it all.
Obviously, yeah, for sure. Sean, is there anything, that sort of surprised you so far of what you've learned about, city council, or the city itself and how it's run? Does anything stand out to you?
Nothing surprised me in a bad way. I mean, okay. I've been extremely grateful and impressed with the level of eagerness and enthusiasm and camaraderie among the new council colleagues, as well as the returning councillors, for a new culture at City Council. And I've also found that same kind of spirit of enthusiasm from staff who have been briefing us. There's definitely, even without considering that the massive challenges that we are going to be facing and dealing with over the next 4 years, there's a strong desire to start this term off on the right foot in terms of our collegial approach with one another. And so it's been surprising, but in a very pleasant way, to see all of that desire to move forward in that manner.
Sean, in the first few months for Knoxdale-Merivale in particular, your ward, what's your top priority?
Well, I have my priorities that are like operational, and then I have the things that I've got to get done. But from an operational point of view, it's hard to ignore the fact that there's no pause between administrations. As of tomorrow, people are already expecting us to serve, and as of tomorrow, it's game on. And so it's incumbent on us to have our offices and our teams and our systems up and running as quickly as possible, because that will be able to deliver a better service to residents. So that's one thing that is certainly key. I'm very eager to form good relationships with staff and with my council colleagues. But when it comes to issues, there are many facing the city and Ward 9 in particular. But what I'm getting a sense of is that Ward 9, Knoxdale-Merivale, historically, over the past, let's say, 5-10 years, has not had nearly the amount of intensification and development that is going to be coming and that is forecast to be coming in my ward over the next 2 to 5 years. That's going to be a historic change to my ward. And being able to, my overall goal throughout this campaign was, how does our city manage our projected growth, our projected population growth, in a sustainable and responsible way? And I know that that's going to be a lot of concentrated activity in Ward 9. I'd be lying if I said my constituents weren't concerned about it. And so the implications of that growth and the implications on my residents is something that I'm certainly focused on right off the bat.
And Sean, I know just from doing the debates and following your campaign that climate action also a big priority for you. You mentioned, housing and bringing more affordable housing, I know, is incredibly important to you as well. But, that I think falls under climate action as well, right? Because not only do you need affordable housing, but you need it to be done in a sustainable way. Tell me about, ways you think we can do a better job as a city when it comes to climate action.
Well, I mean, we're all just trying to wrap our brains around the implications of Bill 23.
Yeah.
And one of the most pressing ways to mitigate against climate action is not just is not how we build our houses, but where we build them. And so I had been campaigning throughout the summer on trying to put limits on urban sprawl, and now we're seeing that is being taken away from us. So aside from trying to fight against that, if we can even fight against it, another thing in my ward, so my ward has suffered probably more climate-related disasters than others. The city as a whole had a flood in 2017, tornado in my neighborhood, like on my street in 2018, flood again in 2019, and then derecho in May, and Ward 9 was hit particularly hard by the derecho. So one element of climate action is, how do I better protect my ward residents, but the city as a whole, from what could be more of these in the future. Parts of my ward lost their power for far longer days than other people in the city.
Sean,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I hate to cut you off, but I've run out of time. I'm sure you and I will catch up another time. I look forward to it. We'll be right back after this.